S here, and welcome to day 22 of SHOCKTOBERFEST 2021. Yesterday, we had a bit of a stinker with a Japanese anime such as Lilycat, but as promised, we have a movie that's going to redeem that one. Today's review is on Christopher Landon's 2015 horror comedy, Scout's Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse. Oh my gosh. I never laughed so hard in my life. Well, I've laughed pretty hard in my time, but this movie, I swear, there were so many moments where I'm just going, what? Did that just happen? Yeah, that just happened. So, basically this movie is about a janitor that goes into a lab called Biotine and notices a corpse just kind of laying on a flatbed, and he accidentally makes some mistakes and takes it off of its life support and tries to save the corpse. Corpse ends up being a zombie. Zombie attacks janitor. Janitor becomes a zombie, attacks one of the lab assistants. They go around infecting people. And that becomes a zombie apocalypse that nobody knows about yet. So now we move on to the main focal point of the story. There are three boys. There is Augie, Carter, and Ben. They are scouts that are going to be juniors in high school. And Ben and Carter, they're not really wanting to be a part of it because as 17-year-old boys, especially, with puberty and everything, certain things like Boy Scouts aren't necessarily for everybody. I mean, hey, I was in Scouts at one point and it wasn't for me, and that's not saying that Scouts is a bad thing. Scouts is great. I mean, hey, there are a lot of people that were once Boy Scouts that have led great lives. But for Ben and Carter, they're not looking for, the whole patriotic or the whole Scout life, pretty much. They are wanting the nookie. The what? The nookie. So you can take that cookie and stick it up your badge. So anyways, Augie, however, has been in Scouts all his life, and he is looking to get that ultimate badge, the big one, the one that they all talk about. And it's been mostly because of the fact that 2 years prior to this moment, his dad had passed away, and it really messed him up, and Carter and Ben were the only two people that were actually there to, take care of him. So they decide they're going to go on a camp out and present him with Augie with his badge of honor, and Carter and Ben were going to drop the bomb, I should say, and let him know that they're leaving Scouts. While this is going on, their car breaks down while they're going on this camping trip. They run into Carter's sister Kendall with her friends Chloe and boyfriend Jeff, and Ben has a little bit of a crush on Kendall, and Carter doesn't know about it yet, but we'll get into that later on. As they're going to the scout or the campgrounds, their scoutmaster gets attacked by a zombie. So eventually he's going around hiding and becoming a nuisance, and eventually the boys catch on that there are some zombies going around and they gotta kill a bunch of zombies. And they also run into what they think is a stripper named Denise. She ends up being a cocktail waitress at the strip club nearby, and she helps them take care of a bunch of zombies. She's sick of them too, and they're eventually trying to save Kendall and her friends at a senior party that they were supposedly invited to but were given the wrong address. And the boys make their own weapons. Ben tries to figure out how to become more of a kind of a suave guy with the ladies. Denise helps him out a little bit. There's a cute little moment where she's trying to teach him how to kiss a girl. I mean, it's kind of one of those tropes in a lot of comedies. And throughout all this, Augie eventually runs into the Scoutmaster, who's now a zombie, sets him on fire, ties him up, and no matter what you do, this zombie just isn't dying, and eventually he gets blown up by a grenade by the military. And in this movie, as well as I mentioned the military, because this town has become a refuge of zombies, much like any other zombie film, when a town is overtaken by the undead, what does the military decide to do? The good old American way, bomb it! Yeah, they decide they're gonna bomb it, but they have only about 2 hours to save the town, and the scouts do save the town. And Ben gets the girl. There's a lot that I left out in this movie, but there's good reason, because, this is one of those movies I don't want to spoil everything. Not everything, because you gotta watch for yourself. There are some good moments that I can't ruin for you. So we are going to talk about what I like and what I don't like about this film, however. What I like, the cast alone, I mean, you've got a lot of names that are in there that I've never really heard of before. I mean, like, Logan Miller and Joey Morgan, who play Carter and Augie, I've never heard of their names before. I'll have to double check and see some of their other stuff. However, Ty Sheridan playing the role of Ben, I have seen him in other things, much as playing Wade Watts / Parsifal in Ready Player One, and also the young Scott Summers / Cyclops in the X-Men franchise, now up to speed, more like, X-Men Apocalypse and Dark Phoenix. I haven't watched that one yet, but blah, rabble. David Kirshner as the Scoutmaster, phenomenal. Just him being a sad sack. I mean, he wears a hairpiece in the movie too, because if anybody knows, David Kirshner has a receding hairline, like a bald spot, and just him wearing that, it's just great. And also him being a Dolly Parton fanatic in the movie, it just... During a chase scene 9 to 5 is playing. I mean, this was pre-Deadpool 2, so there was kind of a nice little touch to that idea. Cloris Leachman, the late Cloris Leachman, plays a cat lady. She was great in this too. I totally love this. The inside jokes in this movie. I mean, there are a lot of zombie jokes in there. I mean, just the concepts of how they make weapons and whatnot. It can be a little Romero-esque. There are, just the name of the camp, Camp Womp Womp. It's just like, what happens throughout this whole movie with the things that they go through is just a very womp womp situation. Blake Anderson from Workaholics plays the janitor at the beginning who stumbles upon the corpse, and he's singing along in his iPhone, or like his iPad or whatever, or Apple headphones. I don't really have a whole lot of technology. Well, that's bullshit. I don't have Apple technology, so yeah, you can hate. It's okay. Another funny moment is when they're camping and they're messing around with marshmallows on the campfire, and one of them gets flung on Augie's face, and the first thing that Carter does, being a smartass, is he takes a selfie. It's just one of those. It's one of those things that we would all do if something really crazy happened. So let me see. Let me look through any notes that I have here. What I don't like about the film? Not much, actually. I mean, it was one of those joyrides that I was laughing hysterically throughout. I love this film. I love it. I have no problems with this. So we're going to give this a grade. We're going to give this a straight up A+. Well done. I recommend watching Scout's Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse at least once a year, at least. Or watch it whenever you want, because this movie is funny. And not just that, well, being a dark horror film, especially with a dark comedy, there's a lot of Easter eggs, especially when you're going through horror tropes. One that I actually just remembered was, while they're driving through town, they come past a town sign, and an interstate exit, and one of the towns that they drive past is Haddonfield. So it's a nice little nod to John Carpenter's Halloween, so much props on that. Anyways, with that being said, and the high grade I gave it, we hope you enjoyed this review. Be sure you leave a thumbs up, leave a thumbs down if you didn't agree with everything I said in this review. Also, make sure that you share on social media, but most importantly, push that little red button and ring that bell for instant notifications. Until then, I'm Wildman Wes, and we will see you tomorrow for day 23 of Shocktoberfest 2021. Take care, stay tuned, and as always, stay scared.